Hey everybody. So I've been seeing this guy on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook a lot. And I guess he's very polarizing, right? I think people that like him, love him, and people that hate him, right? Here's the thing too, is what I've noticed is most of the people that hate him are women. Most of the people that love him are men. What you have to understand is that men and women are different. We think differently. Our perspectives on life are different. Our experiences are different. So to sit here and say that he's wrong is so blatantly egotistical that it's mind-boggling that people don't see this. So I'm going to play this clip. And they're sitting here talking about men's mental health, and she says that she's there for men, and most women are there for men, and most women care about men's mental health. Look, June was Men's Mental Health Month, and not a single person, especially women that are on my social media, said anything about men's mental health the entire month of June. Not a single person. Not a single one. Proves his point right there. So it's like 3 minutes, but I just want to play this part. Now, this is an hour-long interview, and they're having a social discourse back and forth about relationships and things like that. But I just wanted to play this 3-minute part.
And your ego, then you start to become an arsehole.
I agree with you, but I'm not talking about that. I think that's a separate conversation.
No, I'm just saying, no, I agree with everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, I agree with everything you're saying, but what I'm trying to argue is the men get successful, they become even more narcissistic, and they just are not nice people to be around.
You're very, very smart.
Thank you.
You are. But you're doing what most females do, and you're conflating issues. So when you conflate, what you do is you mix two issues together to try and prove your point.
No, I've just been asking you.
And not even that, not just conflating the issues and bringing two separate issues together to prove a point, but you're bringing two separate issues together to try to prove your point is more valid than his. Okay? Let's get that straight too.
Personal questions.
Correct.
And every time you give me a philosophy
No,
around
it's not a
it.
philosophy.
No, but I'm saying in general, when I'm asking you, I'm trying to get to know you on a level. How does a woman like me get to know a gentleman like you?
Here at this beautiful, nice, civil dinner we're having here with no animosity at all. You asked me about men's mental health. My answer was explaining that as a man, you don't have the luxury. Oops, I don't feel like it. You can do it.
You can, but I'm sorry, I know.
But you can't, though. See, to her, she wants to make it seem like that men can. That we can have bad days. Okay? And what he says after this is so on point, and this is the point I really want people to understand, is the next couple of minutes here, because they are so important and so on point that I don't understand how it didn't end here and he just didn't walk away.
I keep cutting you, but I'm just like, because this is the part that gets really frustrating for me. Like, men with this mindset that you have, like, I get it. Okay, great. You are alpha. You've achieved all these things.
It's not about alpha.
No, but I'm saying, like, you possess all these. It's great. But you are the problem. You're creating this pressure on men and society. Like,
no,
it's so
I'm not
competitive.
creating a pressure.
But men can actually, successful men can actually be like, oh, okay, I don't actually feel like it today. Like, they actually can take a break and rest at that moment.
You see what she said? She said successful men can take a break and be like, hey, I don't want to do this today. Successful men. Men that are grinding every day to be successful don't have that opportunity. They don't get to do that. Now listen.
I understand. My point is that it's player versus player. And if you're a man who's going to constantly give in to mental health problems or mental health trouble, you're not going to be able to compete with the men who don't.
Okay, but can we validate men that have...
Completely. If you have mental health...
So we can't go player, just validate men that have mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Men who have mental health issues, I wish them the best in the world.
Okay, great.
But when they come to me and say, and I get this all the time, Andrew, I have this problem, I'm depressed and I can't go to the gym. I say, no, I disagree. You're depressed because you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you might start to feel better, right? I'm saying you can't sit as a man and afford the luxury of saying, I have a mental health issue today, I'm sad today, I'm stressed today, I'm emotional today, I can't work, because you will lose against the men who don't do that. And the male world is more competitive than you could possibly imagine. And it's the women who pick the winners. So I find it very interesting that a woman sits here to me and says, no, men are allowed to sit around and do fuck all and feel sad. And those are the men they ignore when they DM.
No.
There you
Those
go.
are the men they ignore them all.
No, actually.
Yes, absolutely. Because men or women ain't replying to men in their DMs who work at Starbucks and are sad all the time. She even said it. She said successful men can have days off. Successful men can have days where they have that they deal with mental health problems. Successful men. Yeah, we already fucking know that. We know that already.
Can I just chime in here? So, for example, everything you've said, you've possessed, you've proved your point, right? But as a high-value woman, if I respect and love my partner, I'm not putting that pressure. I would say, babe, do you know what? You can have a little rest. Like, there are women that actually enable men to feel, process that emotion.
So now we need permission. Babe, you take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Everything's okay.
Agreed.
But yeah, so we'll still go back to tomorrow. Okay.
Agreed.
Let's go back to work. But there are good women out there that don't put that pressure. I feel like your reality on women is warped because of a certain caliber of women. Yes, it is.
I agree. You're right. But you're missing a very vital point of that story. You're right. But as a high-value woman, before you say to that man, you can have a day off and you're allowed to be sad today, you will only even get with him. Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that.
Absolutely. Point I just made. Like she said, successful men. So she can't argue with this point he's about to make because she made the point first.
Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along and pretend they give a fuck about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even fucking exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important. Maybe as a chick, you can always put more foundation on and be hot again. Great. Not as a man. If you want to be important as a man, you have shit to do. You have duties. This is how it exists. This is how it's always been.
Tell me what he said is wrong. Tell me what he said is wrong. Tell me where in anything he just said that's wrong. And I will call you a liar to your face. Because he's not. And she even said it. She said successful men can take days off. She said it first. So thank you to women out there who give us permission to have days off because, we're going through some shit. We got shit we got to deal with. Thank you. It's mind-blowing. So tell me who's the narcissist? Tell me who's the egotist? Tell me again. We live in a society that have different standards depending on what sex you are. It's what it is. But the problem is that men aren't allowed to have standards. If we have standards, we're being this, and this. We're egotists. We're narcissists. But a woman has standards, and they're all valid. Everything he said was right. And the people that disagree with him are either women that don't like hearing the truth, or men who don't want to agree because they're the men who send out 1,000 DMs and don't get any reply. Or they're the men who are in the friend zone of all their hot female friends, which we know aren't actually friends. They're emotional support animals. That's the truth. And I guarantee you, in this comment section, and if you look at the comment section in most of his videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and whatever else, you'll see men agreeing with him, and you'll see women disagreeing with him. We already know women are going to disagree because they don't want truth. Period. It's mind-boggling. I don't get it. Like, until we can actually have an honest, open dialogue and conversation, nothing changes. But again, women don't actually want things to change. They don't want true equality, because if that was the case, their life would be living hell just like most men's are. And that's honesty. Period. Anyways, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It's sad that we even have to have this conversation, to be honest with you. Like, I thought we've evolved more of as a society to where these conversations were no longer needed. But I guess, again, it's not the case. Y'all have a good one.